I am super excited to start this HTML section. I know you all are too because we have already downloaded and installed our Visual Studio Code IDE and you are ready to learn and start to code, right? But before we start actually coding, we need to understand the basic structure of a website, right? So I've already created a folder that is Web Dev Bootcamp in my desktop. So I'll open my VS Code in this directory. So there's two options which I've already discussed. Once you can right click and select open VS Code, and the other is to hold your shift key and then right click, and then you'll need to type code space dot, right? So now we have an empty VS Code. I have my file directory, but there are no files because I deleted all my files which I showed you in my previous lecture. So I'll create a new file called index.html. And now, before we start writing any code, the first thing that we require is a boilerplate template. So how do we get that? A simple exclamation mark and the emit will do rest of the job. So what is this emit? What is this emit abbreviation? Well, when you are typing on your Android smartphone or maybe an iPhone, you will see a lot of predictions in your keyboard. So emit is just like a prediction. It will predict that what you want in your code. So if I enter, you will see this whole code was entered by VS Code. We did nothing apart from typing this exclamation mark manually. So what is this boilerplate template exactly? And what is its relevance? Why is it required to start our HTML file? So let's first understand step by step. So the first tag which we have over here is doc type HTML. So what does this doc type mean? So the doc type stands for document type. Our document is of HTML. Since we have saved our file as .html, we have doc type HTML. There are other doc types as well, like .htm and XML, but we'll stick with HTML because our live servers only support HTML. If you change that to HTML, let's say if I change my file name, I'll press F2 and I'll change this to HTML and I'll run this live server, then sometimes it might show error. So the best practice is that you name your file as .html and not as .htm or XML. Then we have another tag as HTML lang is equal to en. Now what is this en and double inverted commas? Well, it's language English. All of these things which we are going to type will be in English language. So this is it. And every HTML tag starts and ends with an angular bracket. These are called as angular brackets. Okay, now we have head tag, and inside this head tag we have our meta tags and title tag. Now what is this meta tag? Is it related to Facebook or meta universe in general? No. Meta simply means data of data. Now what does that mean? It might sound confusing. Yes, it is confusing, but let's just break this concept. Okay, what is data? Data is collection of information, right? That is what data. Now, to give you a very simple example, let us consider a book. In our case, let us assume we are reading biography of Steve Jobs. So this book might contain 200 or 500 pages of text or even images, right? So this 200 or 500 pages of book is a collection of data. These 200, 500 pages is data. But in the start of that book, you'll see author might have written a summary of that book or why the author has written this book. So that thing can be called as metadata. That is what our meta tags are. So these meta tags are not visible on browser. So if we want to run this website right now, you'll see nothing over here. Now you might argue that, hey, all these lines are present in our file, then why our live server is displaying a blank website? Because our body content is empty. These meta tags are not visible on browser. The meta tags are added in HTML for the sole purpose of SEO. Now, what I mean by SEO, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Now, let me give you a brief introduction to SEO. What is SEO? Some of you all might be knowing about SEO. You all can give a pat on your back. But for those who don't know SEO, there are so many websites on internet, and majority of the users who want to access some websites, they'll go to their browser and they'll search. Let's say I want to shop online, and I'll type the product which I want to buy, right? So it will display a list of websites like amazon.com, walmart.com, Best Buy, any, right? So all of these are ranking according to search engine optimization. They are using specific keywords. They are making use of meta tags. They are describing what is present in their website. The keywords like my product, let's say I am searching for an iPhone. So their website might state like e-commerce, buying online, shopping online, electronic items, iPhone, Apple. So these are the keywords. These keywords help their websites to rank up in their page, and that's how they get the traction of users. That's how they gain traffic of users. So meta tags are very helpful if you want to increase, or you want your websites to rank higher in a browser. So meta tags are really very helpful, and meta tags also have these things like char set, name. So what does this viewport mean? A viewport is user's visible area of a web page. It varies with device. Let's say a viewport which you see on a smartphone will be smaller than what you see on a desktop or a laptop. Okay. And now let us discuss about tags like head, body, and HTML. You might have noticed that all of these tags have some same name and they have a slash over here. So a tag has a starting tag and an ending tag. So if you click over here, you'll see red highlight over here and over here. So all of these contents inside the meta tag will be over here. And if you add anything after this head tag, it will be not considered to be a part of head tag. So you need to include everything which you want in your head tag before this head tag ends, or before this closing tag of a head tag. Similar situation goes with body tag. Inside this body tag, you add the contents of a website which you want that your user can see. But right now we are not diving deep into it. We have other lectures for it. So inside the head tag, you can add the title of your website. Let's say I want to change the title of my website from document to a demo website. So I'll write demo. I'll enter Control S. My file has saved because this little icon of white dot has disappeared. So that means I have saved my file, and you can see I did not reload. It automatically saved, and the live server is now showing that my website is demo and not document anymore. So that is the beauty of VS Code in general. Now inside this head tag, you can also include an external CSS file and also an external JavaScript file. So how do we do that? Let's say over here, I'll enter tab key and then link. We have CSS. So once I click over here, a CSS file has been created. So you can add CSS file, and you can also add a JavaScript file inside the head tag, and inside the body tag, you can add any content that you want. Once I save this, you can see something is now visible on our website. Now I know our website is not looking very appealing and visually attractive. Why? Because we are not we have not coded anything in CSS, and neither we have included or attached any existing CSS file which has some design elements. So our website will look ugly, and throughout this section, our websites will look ugly because the whole designing stuff and the to increase the attractiveness of a website is the part of CSS, which we have a whole new different section for it. So I hope you are clear with the structure of a website and you now have a better understanding of boilerplate template, because these are some of the basic things. If you are not clear with these things, then you might not understand where to add some of these things and where not to add some of these things. Maybe in future you might add the h1 tag in head tag, and you might wonder that why your page is not loading, why your text is not appearing on the screen in your live server, and why is your website crashing. It's all because you are not clear with the concept of structure of a website and boilerplate template.